Alright, MrSotko here, and welcome back to another Warcraft 3 replay cast. Today it is a 1 vs 1 on Echo Isles between our yellow orc player, Orc Worker, and on the left side we have our red undead player, Happy. It is a Warcraft 3 ArenaNet top replay, and finally a top replay has been updated. I think the last one was updated at least a month ago, and so I've just been casting a lot of other games, and recently put up a Todd and Grubby game. So we're going to speed this up to the 8x mark, to the 2-minute point of the game. All the heroes come out, all the good stuff starts to happen. You know the drill by now. Unless you're the first time watching, then I guess you don't. But that's okay, though. And we'll slow it back on down. Going to be a Blade Master, obviously, for the Orc. Going to get Gloves of Haste. And going to be Death Knight for Happy there. So just yoinked the item, and we'll be moving on to harass his opponent. And a very good item to harass with, I suppose. Gloves of Haste, not a bad first start. And may go after the Ogre Magi here first. And it does look like that's the case. We'll be able to take it out fairly easily here, especially with the 15% increased attack speed. And now Death Knight going after the Ogre camp. Get a Scroll of the Beast for the Orc. And Circle of Nobility for our Death Knight from that Ogre camp. And we'll see if he decides to sell that Scroll of the Beast or not. Looks like he's going down to the shop now. Could sell it. Death Knight going to be moving on. Maybe we get the Knoll Brute camp.
A player's forces are
and does sell the Scroll of the Beast, which is not particularly surprising. Dust of Appearance goes off in search of that Blade Master, but not gonna find him, not in the area. And Troll Berserker's going down first because they do the most damage. And picks up a Boots of Speed there. Magi camp for the undead. See what drops for Happy here. Another Dust of Appearance goes off. No Blade Master in sight. And gonna get a Ring of Selling. And now Worker all over that Fiend, but takes a Death Coil. Gonna keep him alive for now. Grunt in a bad spot here, may get taken out. It is quite likely we'll lose the Grunt. Forceful Trapper about to go down. Blade Master probably could have taken that kill there. And forces the Death Knight on home. Forces that town portal as well. Gonna be a costly retreat. Orc now going to finish off at the Ogre Mauler. Couple skeletal minions going down to the shop there to scout it out. And Wand of Illusion and a Tome of Intelligence.
A player's forces are under attack.
For the Orc. And going to get hit by the skeletal minion, take away that salve. Very unfortunate. Ogre Warrior camp here going to get taken out and at the marketplace, but the Magi is gone, so that's going to be the most experience, or at least the biggest chunk in one of them. And Manual of Health taken by the Death Knight just in time there. Dust of Appearance goes off on the Blade Master, but the Blade Master gets the Ogre kill regardless and is detected, but undead in the middle of running at the moment. Well, I could have turned around and hit the Blade Master pretty hard there with 4 spiders and the Death Knight. Now an illusion here moving across. Checking out what's going on. Panda now, second hero for the Orc. After the Magi camp gets a Ring of Selling.
Town is under siege.
So not the greatest items for the Orc so far. I mean, Gloves of Haste, not too bad. And Circle of Nobility, I think, was purchased. Also sold his Ring of Selling.
Forces are under attack.
And for anybody that may be watching for the first time, the Ring of Selling I call the Ring of Protection +2. The Ring of Protection +3 I call the Ring of Greater Selling, because everybody just ends up selling it. People rarely hold on to it. It doesn't really do too much. Increases your damage reduction by a couple percent, maybe. If you already have 4 armor, maybe a few. Not really actually even sure. But it is just not that great. Most people sell it. Gives you 60 gold for the +2, and the +3 is like 100 gold or 120, something like that. So it's not too bad. Better off selling it, getting a pair of boots or a scroll of healing or staff of teleportation, that sort of thing. Pendant of energy for the brewmaster. And Undead clears out the majority of the Murloc camp. And now going after the Renegade Wizard camp. And Lich picks up a Claws of Attack +6 from, I believe, this camp here. And wisely puts it on the Lich, as he is the ranged hero, often does more damage if he's constantly attacking. And no Brute camp will go down here, just a Tome of Intelligence for the Brewmaster. And now for the Renegade Wizard. Great Hall coming up for the Orc at the bottom right. And we'll see what drops here for the Lich. And going to be another Claws of Attack, except Claws of Attack +9. So now 15 damage on the Lich. Not too bad at all there. Blademaster here going to go after the Spider. Maybe the Lich. That Lich is pretty dangerous. Has 325... basically full mana, and we'll be able to Frost Nova upon sight of that Blademaster. And Spider in a little bit of trouble here. Death Knight on the way now. And Dust of Appearance goes off. And that will keep the pesky Blademaster away for now. Lich now an Orb of Corruption that the Death Knight brought, and now up to +20 damage.
A player's forces are under attack.
Plus, of course, the negative armor bonus, which would be, I suppose, hard to calculate offhand here. Yeah, as you can see, the +2 ring brought him to 6 earlier and had a damage reduction. Oh, I think what was 24%, so I think it brought him up to 24%. So 4% damage reduction, just not really worth it. Usually just better off just selling the ring, depending on what kind of hero you have, depending on what situation you are in, I suppose. It just always seems to get sold, so I sarcastically call it the Ring of Selling. And Panda here in a really bad spot. I'm trying to get one last Breath of Fire in, but doesn't really do too much. And most of the Acolytes here have been destroyed by that attack. So it was pretty good. Blademaster now coming in, gonna finish it up here. And Happy in a bad spot now, as I missed most of that fight there. As the Orc army came in and did a whole bunch of damage while I looked away. Look away for 1 second. And look what happens. Brewmaster has been tavern revived. I'm moving down towards the shop here. Maybe pick up a scroll of healing and such. Brewmaster actually might be able to take out the Ziggurat there. Exactly what I was thinking. That Ziggurat is quite low. But now the Acolytes come in to help out the situation. And some undead units here in a little bit of trouble, getting completely surrounded. And netted down. May lose a raider or 2 here in on this, but I think it's going to be well worth it. And first raider's going to go down, but already a couple undead units in place of that. And Blademaster was taken down at some point there inside the base while harassing those Acolytes. And a grunt one shot away from going down here, 4 health. Barely even alive. It's a wonder he's even running.
A player's forces are under attack.
The invisible brewmaster cruising around. And Raiders moving into the undead base here. Lich teleports back home. And that damage on the Lich is pretty brutal.
A player's forces are under attack.
And the Orc base here going pretty strong. New Voodoo Lounge down at the bottom. And a Tauren Totem now coming up. And that is something you don't see all the time. Actually just casted a game a little while ago. I will upload it sooner or later here with a non-meta version with Grubby and another player. And they decide on a non-meta game. And it is pretty wacky. And it does involve some Tauren and some fun units and hero combinations. But I did see this top replay here, so I decided to get on this real quick. And Grubby trying to get into those that Acolyte line there, but let's go after the Death Knight here. Death Knight gonna take a whole mess of damage. Here comes the Panda now.
A player's forces are
And
under
now pushing him invulnerability on the Death Knight. And just the Lich teleports back, leaving the spiders there to harass those peons. And this Lich does crucifying damage. Brewmaster on the way out there. And goes home, and the Orc base here in a little bit of trouble. We're going to repair up with the burrow. And pretty nice micro there of the peons coming in and out. Orc on his way down to defend that now. Spiders burrow. And these peons will not last forever here. There's going to be a dust of appearance collected. Playmaster has to be revived. Scrolls of speed picked up, but no dust of appearance. And one peon finally goes down. And here come the Raiders now to help regulate the situation, but again, burrowed Crypt Fiends there are generally an issue. And Brewmaster's going to get caught out here. Could take a Death Coil and Frost Nova combo. And there goes the Death Coil. Nearly takes out the Brewmaster.
a town is under
And the
siege.
Blademaster is needed badly in this situation here. Orc army now moving towards the undead base. And a whole mess of raiders coming on in, and grunts. And looks like
Players' forces are under attack.
Worker maybe sort of abandoning that expansion there. And now the heroes teleport on back. And -4 armor for the majority of these units here, which I believe is -22% indeed. So an additional 22% damage from all sources, including that Lich with the +20 damage there. And Blademaster is getting wrecked and will go down, unable to take down that Lich. And Orc will have to
A player's forces
bail out
are
of there
under
for now. And Destroyer couldn't quite net him. Playmaster now being revived once again. Brewmaster going to be in a little bit of trouble here if he takes a death coil. It doesn't look like that's going to be the case.
A player's forces are under attack.
And built that Tauren totem, but never any Taurens. Tauren kind of sounds like one of those words that is already pluralized, no matter what. So you could, one Tauren is a Tauren, multiple Tauren is Tauren. So who knows? Taurens kind of sounds off. It's kind of like saying gooses. Doesn't really work too well. Or sheep. You don't say sheeps. Easy to say sheep. I think it's Tauren.
A player's forces are under attack.
Don't mind me, I'm just rambling. Raiders going after the crypt now. Frenzy on the way, nearly completed. Two ghouls coming to defend. And Altar of Storm's gonna go down here, not bothering to repair it. If he brought over some peons, he could have kept that and got that Blademaster out. Now maybe be forced to Tavern Revive the Blademaster, if anything. They're gonna lose a Grunt on the way out. Or maybe that was a Raider, not actually quite sure. I didn't see it quick enough. Either way, loses a unit to a Death Coil, and
the player's forces are under
Brewmaster
attack.
nearly level 4. The Death Knight just having a field day taking these units out. Blademaster now Tavern Revived, and the Brewmaster a little too low to be particularly useful right now. 5-6 health left, and the two heroes too low. Worker GG's out, leaving Happy the winner. Well played on both parts, but the Undead just outplayed there, and that Lich got pretty powerful. And the Frost Nova and Death Coil combo, just too good. Hope you guys enjoyed the replay, and I will see you guys next time.